Very good evening to you. I am Mark Seal with your Lime Sports World. West Indies trail India by 104 runs at the end of day 3 of the third digital test against India. Playing at Windsor Park in Dominica, the Windies had India 18 for 2. But again, the visitors have rallied. This time, they're 308 for 6. Abhinav Makun got his maiden test half century, 62, while Captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni is still there on 65. VVS Laxman made 56 and Suresh Raina 50. The Windies skipper Darren Sammy has been the best bowler with 2 for 48, while Fidel Edwards has 2 for 80. The bowling attack was down to 3 main bowlers as Ravi Rampal didn't take the field until late in the evening after a bout of vomiting yesterday. As backup, Shivnai Chandapal has taken a wicket and Kirk Edwards had his first bowling test cricket, having figures of 4 overs, no maidens, 19 runs, no wickets.
Beautifully bowled. He'll get a boundary for it down to third man, but he just managed to squeeze it out. Caught behind, Edwards gets him, and Murli Vijay's horrid tour continues with an outswinger just pushing at it. Of the test in St. Kitts. Bowled him. Sammy gets through. He's happy, and another strike for the West Indies.
Catch!
Full toss. And eventually gets to the boundary.
Played very well indeed. Just right inside the line of the ball. Beautifully played in the opposite direction now, and this probably will go away for 4 as well. And he's gone. So Bishu's got him. Close in fielder. Retained there by Sammy.
Nicely played.
This could run away.
And then wide of mid-on for 4. Drops it down short. Big appeal caught behind down the leg side by Ball. Brilliantly taken. He's not happy about it. Turns and walks away.
The bails are up. You can see the shadow. The foot is not on the ground.
And he's been given out, and quite rightly so.
Big appeal for leg before and out. Leg before first ball with the new ball. Edwards strikes and the crowd comes alive.
That's a good hit. Got a bit of width from Fidel Edwards to end the over.
The scores in the match: West Indies 204, India 308 for 6, leading the Windies by 104. Here in Barbados, Alexandra are expected to protest their Series 5 Lime Under 15 game against Harrison College, which finished today at Crumpton Street. The match ended in a no decision, but Alexandra are reportedly charging that College took the covers off before the umpires arrived at the ground, and when the rains came, no attempt was made to cover the pitch. 3 other games ended in no decisions due to those heavy showers: St. Michael versus Foundation, Dedan Griffith against Leicester Vaughan, and Garrison against Courage and Parry. However, there was one team that beat the rain to record a victory. At Blackman's, Grant Tilly-Adams claimed a 5-wicket win over Aline. Scores: Aline 114 for 6 and 75, Grant Tilly-Adams 61 and 129 for 5. Now at Messiah Street, St. Leonard's got first innings points from Lodge School. Scores: the Lodge 71 and 76 for 3, St. Leonard's 125 for 4 declared. At Constant, St. George got the lead over St. James. Romario Knight took his 3rd consecutive 7-wicket haul, this time 7 for 14, to help dismiss St. James for 39. And in reply, St. George reached 92 for 7. Rain washed out play on the first day of the 3rd round WICB Under-15 match between hosts Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados at Gilbert Park today. I guess obviously they'll try tomorrow on the 2nd day. Barbados finished 5th at the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships, which ended today at the Barbados Golf Club. After 3 days of competition, Barbados had a total of 91 points. Puerto Rico, though, walked away with the Hank James Trophy, amassing 167 points. winning overall ahead of Trinidad and Tobago, who had 133, and the Dominican Republic on 123. Puerto Rico also won 5 of the 6 age group categories. Serena Smith recorded the highest individual placing for Barbados. She was second in the girls 16 to 17 with a total of 243. Paola Robles of Puerto Rico won that category with a gross score of 241. Barbados' Donald Leacock was joint third in the boys 14 to 15, which was won by Puerto Rico's Daniel Caban. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke reports on some of the early action on the final day.
It was on hole number 17 that CBC Sports caught up with the trio of Barbadian Donald Leacock, Puerto Rican Daniel Carbin, and Jamaican Zandre Rojes. These 3 were the front runners in the boys 14 to 15, with Carbin sinking the ball for a par, coming into the final day leading by 3 shots. Leacock was nestled in second, also getting a par on hole 17, and the Jamaican Rojes was actually 5th coming into the day, but had worked his way after completing 8 holes at this stage to 3rd. So we followed them onto hole 18, a par 5 hole, and both Leacock and Carbin got pars. But Rojes struggled a bit, so he ended with 1 over par. Nonetheless, much hope was rested on Leacock to medal for the Bajan team. Another of our local hopefuls and the player most were looking to bring success was Serena Smith. The Barbados Open champion was grouped with Puerto Rico's Paola Robles and Trinidad and Tobago's Brittany Marquez. These 3 were also a front-running group in the girls 16 to 17. They were on hole 13 when we caught up with them, and Smith, who started as number 1 on the 3rd day's play, had actually fallen 3 shots behind Robles and was looking to make ground. Smith had much support from her mother Lisa and grandparents as her group tackled hole 14. Serena's tee-off was not the most ideal, and it left her in a bit of a watery situation. She then veered a bit to the left of the green and had to work her way back out. Not necessarily the ideal play, as she finished 1 over par and was losing more ground. As Robles, who as I mentioned before was leading, made it an even par, leaving Smith with her work cut out for her at this stage. Marquez also ended 1 over par at this hole. That was a little taste of the final day of competition. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Boxers Anderson Emmanuel and Cobia Brady have qualified for the Pan American Games in Mexico. In the Pan Am qualifier in Panama last night, Emmanuel won gold in the heavyweight class, while Brady got silver in the lightweight. Now, once you make it to your category final, you advance to the Pan Am Games. So, missing out is Damian Seeley. He only managed a bronze in the super heavyweight, thus just missing out on qualifying. The 16th Pan American Games in Guadalajara, Mexico are set for October 14th to 30th. We'll take a break here. When we come back, netball. Barbados will now have to play for 11th position at the World Netball Championships in Singapore after losing their playoff match to Fiji this morning. The Bajans went down by 1 goal, 49 to 48, therefore missing out on the playoff match for 9th position. For Barbados, goal attack Nikita Pigott scored 22 of her 24 attempts, while goal shooter Lydia Bishop had 26 from 32. Barbados will play Samoa in the 11th and 12th playoff, which is scheduled for 11 p.m. tonight, Barbados time. Meanwhile, the semi-final lineup is complete. Caribbean powerhouses Jamaica will face Australia, while England will come up against New Zealand. Now, tonight on TV8, we'll be airing the England versus Northern Ireland quarterfinal game at 11:30 p.m. And tomorrow, we'll show New Zealand versus South Africa at 5:30 p.m. It's all up to Akila Jones now to get a medal for Barbados at the IAAF Youth World Championships in France. That's because Dion Hope was a non-starter today in the men's 200 meters first round heat. Jones now is the lone Barbadian left in the competition, and she'll begin her long jump campaign tomorrow. Barbados tomorrow will start their campaign in the regional rugby tournament in Cayman Islands against the hosts. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke was able to catch up to the team before they left for Cayman.
The Garrison Savannah was the venue for the final practice session of the national under-19 rugby team before they left for the Caribbean Championships in the Cayman Islands.
They're quite well prepared. We had a game against the league champions the other week on a Saturday afternoon as a trial, and we lost 30 points to 27 against the senior experienced side. So it's looking quite good for the team. I'm not necessarily going to say they're going to bring back the silverware, because they're playing against a very strong two teams. They're playing Cayman on the Saturday, under floodlights, 6 o'clock kickoff, and they're the home team. So there's going to be a lot of support, and they're going to be looking to do the business on the day as well. But if we can get over that, we then got the Caribbean champions, Bermuda, and they're a very strong side. We play them on the Monday. So we've got 2 hard games to start off with. If we can beat Cayman, I think that we can probably do the job against Bermuda.
The team looked pretty good going through their final drills, but are they ready?
The point is to be confident and believe in the team, so I would say I'm 100%. I think that we worked hard enough to come to this point before the competition with training and whatnot.
The one thing the team does possess is a drive to do their best.
We have some experience in the team, some new guys who have came to the forefront very quickly and learning the game. So the boys, they're capable of doing it.
The local boys will start their regional campaign against host Cayman Islands tomorrow before taking on defending champions Bermuda on Monday. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
The Blue Diamond Racing Stable has brought out the big guns for tomorrow's feature race, the Midsummer Creole Classic, going over 1,800 meters at the Garrison Savannah. Owner Lord Michael Taylor, along with stable manager and trainer Andy Ward, have brought in the European-based Paul Edery to ride the filly Reprise, and Panamanian-born Trinidad-based Nobel Abrego to ride Must Be in the Money. Sir Charles Williams' pair of Slipstream and Cadal Moon should be a force to reckon with as well. The Creole Classic, the second jewel of the Triple Crown, is race number 6, and post time for the overall Midsummer Creole Classics race there is 2 p.m. Well, that's it for sports.